the first lesson of a series of lessons based on calculus, and in this we'll look at an average rate of change, derivatives by the first principle, and also usage of rule for differentiation. Alright, and with this we can also use the CAS calculator and to do the average rate of change and also the first principle likewise, or all the three things we're looking at can also be done using the CAS calculator, the TI. Alright, let's begin. So this is the formula. This is based on the gradient that we actually looked in a junior classes, which is change in y over change in x. And the first principle is similar case. And if you have an x value at that point, and that x value has changed, h is a change, small change. So, and also you use the same concept of average rate of change, you'll end up getting the derivative of that function. And that could also be obtained using the rule, which is if you have f of x function, which is x to the power of n can be any number, any degree, and the derivative of that function can be obtained by putting the n as a coefficient and reducing one from it. So let's have a look and let's put this in practice and see how we could do this using tech-free and tech-active. Alright, so let's get our first example and we'll end up using all the three concepts. So let's say I have f of x, which equals to and I want to use the first average rate of change. I want to find out the gradient to this. Well, I could define, well, just substitute back into that. We could just do this, which is, this is your a value and that's your b value, can be done by substituting, which gives you 9 there. And that would be 6 plus 4, which gives us 19, and can be done the same thing here by substituting the value of x back into the equation. And average rate of change which gives us 5. That could be done using the technology. So this is tech-free using the average rate of change. Let's see how we go with CAS. Alright, here we have. Alright, now you have your catalog here. This is the template. Click the catalog. So you get the, list of everything the CAS could do. So if you, so the first one, which is number 1, the book. And in here, we're just going to scroll it down a bit. And we select that and press enter. I think before we do that, we should define the function, so which is a lot easier. Well, whether we define it or enter the function as it is, that's all good. So let's actually enter the function as it is and define it another occasion and see what's the difference. Well, you're gonna get the same answer anyway. You're gonna get the same answer. And I have entered my f of x function, and I want to also enter the x value, which is going to be the x equals to, so you press comma, which is under here, which is under the pi, and my x equals to, because I want to find out the average from 0 to 3, and we got 5, and that was the answer. We got 5, and here we go, the CAS did give us 5. Well, let's see if we define the function. Let's say I want to define the function and recall it. So I'm just going to say f of x, and take the cursor out, press Control, and the template that can also be a shortcut to define the function. I've defined my f of x function, and I want to use the same concept as I did before. I can just copy this but without everything written down. Well, you can go back to the catalog. So I'm just going to get rid of that, and I'm just going to say f of x and comma, and I press enter. That is also, you're going to get the same answer. All right, that was the average rate of change. So let's have a look at the first principle, which is the first principle. So let's do the first principle. Let's use the first principle. This time we just want to get the derivative of this function, because the first principle only gives us the derivative. All right. So I'm just going to write what the first principle says. So using the first principle, as h approaches 0, and I have f of x plus h minus my f of x over x plus h minus x. So if I substitute back there, so x plus h squared plus 2x, and my x is, remember that, x plus h plus 4. That is that bit there. So I'm going to say minus, I'm going to put a bracket, I'm going to say x squared plus 2x plus 4 over, so that x minus x will cancel. So on my denominator I'll have h only. So that gives us and you simplify. So that's gone. That's gone. That's gone. So on my numerator, I'll end up having h and 2x, that's gone. Yep, anything else that I've left? Alright, now get my h out and take the common denominator, or the common factor. So in this case here, h is the common factor on my numerator, h out. So I'll have 2x plus h plus 2 and over h, so that all the h's cross it out. So as the h approaches 0, so if you substitute 0 there, my f prime x will be, well, if I substitute 0 there, that's going to be on, well, end up getting 0, 2x. So my final answer will be 2x plus 2. So that is my derivative of that function there. So let's actually use the rule, and that could also be done using the CAS. Let me show you how to do that. All right, let's go to the CAS. So press menu, calculus, and limit. And this time here, my f of x has been defined, and all I need to do is just recall that and put in the formula. So put h there as h approaches 0. So, and also press control, the division sign to give you the fraction template. So I'm going to say f of x, x plus h, minus my f of x, because f of x is defined. So that's going to be x plus h minus x. So that gives us 2x plus 2, which is what we got. All right, that's how you do also using the first principle, using both take active and take free. All right, let's do this is the final thing. This time we're going to use the rule. All right, so that's the last example. So again, we are still using the same f of x. So this time I'm going to use the rule this time. So my f of x was so this time the rule says that if you have got x to the power of n, so reduce that x, the exponent, put it down, minus 1. So in this case here, my n value is 2, put it down. So my f of x will be, this is what the rule says, the derivative rule, 2x. So I've taken after, and this has got to the power of 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. X to the power of 0 is x. Well, 1. 1 times 2 is 2. So that's it. And that could also be done using technology. So let's have a look at CAS. And well, there is a shortcut, and also you can also go to the menu, calculus, and derivative, the first one. And I'm just going to say x, you put x there, and I'm going to put my function because I've already defined it. And there we go, 2x plus 2. A shortcut to get the derivative is press shift, shift and the minus key. That's also another way of actually getting shift, the minus key, and that gives you the derivative. That's a shortcut, and that's it. All right, and that's it for the first lesson.